Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for an informative and exciting Global Cruise Line webinar with PONANT. My name is Johanna de Guzman. I am the Manager of Industry Relations for North American Travel Trade Membership here at CLIA, and I'm going to quickly go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenters. The webinar will run for about 40 to 45 minutes with time for questions at the end. Please feel free to type your questions into the questions module of the webinar, and we will get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. The webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. It is my pleasure to introduce our presenters, Preston Cadell and Dale Woods. Preston has been with PONANT for 4 years and covers the Midwest and South Central region. He is based in Dallas and was previously a tour manager for several cruise lines and a trainer for Disney. Dale is with PONANT now for 9 years, based in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and handles accounts located in the Northeast USA, Virginia to Maine, and Ohio. Dale is an industry veteran with a career spanning 35 years, with 15 years in small luxury expedition cruising. Dale lists expeditions to the geographic North Pole, Antarctica, and Russia's Far East among the top 3 highlights of his travels. His bucket list destination is Australia. And with that, take it away, Preston and Dale.
Thank you so much, Johanna, and thank you everybody for being here with us this afternoon. My name is Preston Cadell. I am the Central Director of Business Development for PONANT, and with me today is my colleague Dale Woods, the Director of Business Development for the Northeast. Dale, do you want to say hello?
Hello, CLIA members. Great to be with you today, and thank you, Preston, for driving the presentation today.
My pleasure, and thank you everyone for being here. We're excited to talk about one of our new exciting destinations in 2024, Alaska. But first, we'd like to tell you a little bit about PONANT. So first, I'd like to introduce our business development team, and this is your support. So if you have any questions about PONANT, you need any assistance, you need any clarification about anything, these are the people that you're going to want to reach out to. From to right, first we'll start with Ellen McElvain, our Vice President of Sales, and then it's myself. I'm the Director of the Central part of the U.S. I cover the Midwest and the South Central, based in Texas. Next is Yanedi Perez, the Director of the Southeast part of the U.S., based in Florida, and she covers all of the states in the Southwest, as well as Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Next is Erica Barbeau, our Manager, our Business Development Director in Eastern Canada. And then, of course, Dale Woods, the Director of the Northeast USA. From the bottom, we have David Schoenberg, the Director of the Southwest USA, based in California. And then we have Sandra Lowe Brown, our Inside Sales Manager. And then we have Olga Sebastova, who is part of our marketing strategy in Canada with Cruise Strategies, followed by Rita Shanique, the Director of Groups, MICE, and Latin America, also based in Florida, and then Catherine Bryn, the Director of our call center. So this is your sales development team. We're always more than happy to assist you with anything related to PONANT. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us anytime. And as an extra with CLIA, if you are a CLIA member, then you do have a coupon, which is a $100 Amazon e-card. So if you make a PONANT booking, please be sure to reach out to us. We will send you this coupon. You just fill it out and send it back to us, and we'll input it into our database system and make sure that you get that $100 Amazon e-gift card. And that's valid for all of 2023. So please be sure to take advantage of that promotion. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about the history of PONANT. We were founded in 1988 by French sailors in southern France and started sailing in 1991 with our original flagship, Le Ponant. We have kept the spirit of sailing through our French sailors, but we have grown tremendously since that time. With our parent company, the Artemis Group, in 2023, we're one of the world leaders in luxury expeditions with a fleet of 12 beautiful vessels, all purpose-built for luxury and for expedition sailing. We offer 400 departures annually. We explore over 450 ports of call on all 7 continents annually. About half of our sailings are polar and tropical expeditions, and about half are luxury small ship cruising. So we go everywhere on the planet. So we have a very diverse deployment. We've grown tremendously, and we look forward to growing even more in the future. We did recently win an award, which we're very honored by, with Condé Nast Traveler's Reader's Choice Awards in 2022. We run the Reader's Choice Awards for the best expedition ship line and for the best small ship line. So if you're looking for a wonderful expedition experience or a wonderful small ship experience or both, Condé Nast awarded that to us. We're very honored by that, and we're going to continue to build on that momentum and develop our brand and our experiences to offer even more to you and your clients in the future. We were also featured earlier this year in Travel and Leisure's The Water Issue, and this is a feature on Lake Comedette Charcot in Antarctica. There's amazing information and amazing photography in this part of the world aboard the La Comedette Charcot, which is an incredible vessel that can do itineraries that literally nobody else is capable of doing. So if you subscribe to Travel and Leisure magazine, or if you're just in a Barnes & Noble perusing the magazine section, take a look at this article. It's very informative. There's some wonderful details about our experiences in Antarctica, some beautiful visuals. So definitely worth a little bit of time to read. So we like to say that nature is our guide. Ponant is a very immersive experience, a very sustainable cruise line. We put a lot of emphasis on new experiences and really immersing yourself in the local cultures and geography. So really, we let nature guide us, and we let local culture, we let local geography, Epicurean experiences, we make that the star of your client's experience. And really, it allows you to really immerse yourself in a way that is not always possible. So we really allow ourselves to be guided by the things around us, particularly nature. And with that, I have a small video to show you, and this will give you a little bit idea of what our vessels look like, sail to, some of the wonderful onboard experiences that you can expect if you travel with Ponant. So let me just see if I can get that popped up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share the video. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of a better idea of our wonderful itineraries, our wonderful vessels, and some of the experiences that you can expect if you sail with Ponant. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Dale. Dale.
Thank you so much, Preston. I just love that video, and how many times have we seen it? It's just really very upbeat, and I know, CLIA, you're all out there bouncing in your seats. So, Preston, I'll be asking you to forward the slides when I need that, so thank you for driving. Luxury meets experiential with authentic experiences, unprecedented exploration, access to unique destinations, immersive programming, expedition experts, and eco-friendly navigation. That is what we say Ponant delivers. We were one of the first to bridge the gap between luxury cruising and expedition. So bringing together the wonderful software of luxury cruising along with the terrific cutting edge hardware that you find with expedition operators, all together working in tandem. Our captains, our naturalist guides, our expedition leader, hotel director, and the like work together on a plan that is an expedition plan or objectives to deliver on these Ponant moments or Ponant experiences. So luxury meets experiential. It is key. And with people demanding more and more smaller ship experiences, do consider Ponant. So next slide. So at Ponant, it's all about value, added value. All meals, what's included would be all meals on board, gratuities, port fees and taxes, open bar, 24-hour room service for everyone, and butler service for those that are booked or reserved in our suites. Unlimited Wi-Fi from bow to stern, including in the staterooms would be included. And on expeditions that we're talking about today to Alaska, shore landings, but in Alaska will be shore landings by way of smaller craft or tenders. Smithsonian Journey departures will include the arrival and departure transfers and select shore excursions in every port. And we have two Alaska sailings that are with Smithsonian Journeys, and then polar expeditions, which we do consider Alaska to be, believe it or not. We will be providing parkas and also to keep as souvenirs, and then boots to borrow. What's not included for sake of transparency would be premium liquor, spa treatments, and any of the personal incidentals, and transfers unless it is a Smithsonian departure. But we will have also our expedition landings included, lectures are included, as well as some of the program air. So, and Preston can review that more when we get to the itineraries. Next slide. So just to give you an explanation, what do we mean by expedition versus traditional cruising, and where does Ponant lie in between the two? So mentioned earlier, Ponant was one of the first to bridge the gap between expedition world and luxury cruising, small luxury cruising, and we blend the best of both worlds. So reading right down the middle, we believe we fit smack dab in between the two with our guest capacity, really no more than 264 guests. Le Soleil is the platform to Alaska in 2024, and we will have probably on average 220 guest capacity, considering singles and suite bookings. We have new purpose-built ships, Naturalist and Zodiac drivers, in this case would be tendering, and then cultural experts as well. We will be working with the Explorers Club on a departure, and also Smithsonian Journeys, so they will bring on with them the cultural experts. Larger public areas are found on our smaller ship, Le Soleil, and then an open bridge policy where we are inviting your clients, our valued guests, to come and really experience and mingle and bond with our officers who are in command of the ship, and our naturalists who are also on the bow searching for wildlife. Luxury accommodations as well, either suites or our staterooms alike, and then visiting unique, remote, and also well-traveled destinations. So we take a little bit of both. So that's where we lie, right in between the two categories. And so just to remind you, expeditions would be where we're calling in remote areas where there is no infrastructure, such as a pier, and then traditional cruising really is where we visit ports of call where there is infrastructure and there's a pier, and then motor coaches to take us on shore excursions, versus expeditions where instead of motor coaches, we're relying on smaller craft tenders that we will go ashore, and then nature unfolds, and our tour guides would be our naturalists that act as our interpreters, explaining to us what we are experiencing firsthand, up close and personal. And the next slide. So an overview of our fleet. Ponant currently has 12 luxury small ships. We did acquire the Paul Gauguin brand 3 years ago. So with the Paul Gauguin ship, we say that we have 13 ships. We are keeping the sales team separate and the product separate. So for today's discussion, we're talking about the Ponant fleet of 12 ships. At the onset, you heard that I started 9 years ago with Ponant, and at the time we had 4 ships, and today we have 12. So we've tripled the size of the fleet with really wonderfully new builds that are sustainable and responsible and respectful of the waters we're sailing in. And namely, Le Commandant Charcot is our newest vessel, an icebreaker in its truest form, Polar Class 2, whereas most ships in the ice are at about Polar Class 6 and some at Polar Class 5. So it's the strongest in the water, accommodating up to 200 guests. It's a science ship, a working science ship with 2 laboratories, wet and dry, with visiting scientists and calling in the world's most remote locales on Earth, deeper into the multi-year ice, such as the geographic North Pole, the Northeast Greenland coast, the Canadian Arctic through the Northwest Passage, and down into the Ross Sea, and really doing a semi-circumnavigation of Antarctica. All balconies, a promenade deck, but hybrid technology, liquefied natural gas and electric, and even equipped with a cigar lounge. By the way, we do not allow smoking anywhere inside the ship or on the balconies, only in designated areas, usually on deck 3 on the aft section. But in this case, Le Commandant Charcot will have a cigar lounge. Also, the only Alain Ducasse restaurant at sea, Michelin star chef. His firm is consulting us on all onboard dining on the entire fleet. So we do have helicopters on this ship, but for reconnaissance and surveillance and safety only. The next category would be our polar class ships, the 4 sister ships at polar class 6, Le Boreal, L'Austral, Le Soleil, Le Lyreal, 254 guest capacity. I did mention on average about 220 guests. Our sister ship Le Soleil will be the ship operating in Alaskan waters in 2024. The ship boasts 2 restaurants, 2 bars, 2 lounges. We have a gastronomic restaurant on deck 2, a more casual grill restaurant on deck 6, a heated saltwater swimming pool, a fully equipped gym on the stern of the ship. We have a full spa as well, room service for all, and butler service for those in the suites, as I mentioned, and just a wonderfully beautiful ship. All ships are fully ADA compliant with elevators and ramps, except for the 3-mast sailing ship. And so we have a full complement of elevators and the like. Our expeditions will also have 8 naturalists and a expedition leader as well, so I failed to mention that. But the next category would be the 6 Explorer class ships, where they will be calling mostly in the warmer waters. This is 100% balconies, whereas the sister ships have 95% balconies. Another call out on the Explorers is the underwater lounge, which is designed to mimic the shape of a whale inside a whale, with portals out to the water where we can take in the sightings of marine life, and ossipods or speakers that will pipe in the sights and the sounds of whales and dolphin chatter. So really very cool Jules Verne-esque feature of the Explorer class ship. And again, 100% balconies, no more than 170 guests on these ships, named after French explorers La Pérouse, La Champlain, La Bougainville, La Dumanterville, La Veillard, and La Jacques Cartier. And just a word of caution, no need to memorize the names of the ships. Really what dictates the ship will be the itinerary that the ship sails. So that makes it very easy. And if in doubt, just ask your director of business development to assist, or our res team. And then lastly, our small ship, Le Ponant, our namesake, built in 1988 to accommodate 64 guests, has been totally refitted in 2021 to accommodate just 32 guests in 16 staterooms, 1 owner suite, and then the rest are staterooms. And this ship is really at the fore of sustainability with wind power sails, but also a motor sail, sailing in the Kimberley, Northwest Australia, going over to the Caribbean, and then over to the Mediterranean. So that is the fleet in a nutshell: 12 small ships, fully ADA compliant, no smoking allowed anywhere, wonderful, nimble, and purpose-built. We own these ships. They've been built from the bottom up for the real love of exploration. So the next slide, please. So we at Ponant, we've been sailing for over 35 years. We've been taking your clients, our cruise guests, to the planet's most remote and hidden and out-of-the-way locations, places where nature really does reign supreme. So making the choice of calling in these areas, we at Ponant do acknowledge the responsibility that also comes with visiting, the responsibility to the ecosystems that compose these places. So sustainability is very important to us, and our word to you is to really share that with your clients. It has become not just getting them off the fence. It's become a criteria for clients seeking to visit these remote areas, but also to go with companies who are taking measures to keep sustainable. So we are operating 100% carbon neutral cruises. The list goes on and on and on here. We do have on our homepage on the us.ponant.com website a 56-page 2022 sustainability report. Also on there is our 2021 sustainability report for detail. Try not to get into the weeds with your clients and scare them away with too much technical detail, but do know your homework and do know that Ponant is respecting the waters and the communities that we visit. After all, we are founded by sailors, and those are the true lovers of exploration, but also those that respect the places we call at. We have a full environmental impact assessment team. We have also at headquarters a head of sustainability. We have an environmental officer positioned on each of the vessels at Ponant, and we're working with ports, the main ports of call to install onshore power connection for our ships. We've invested in the reduction, or actually total elimination, of plastics and repurposing the ocean water, making it potable so that we are drinking the water from the sea with a desalination program. So just some of the examples of what we're doing in terms of sustainability, and with the modern equipment that we are continuing to build with all eyes on sustainability. In May, there was an announcement that was made where Ponant will be paving the way towards zero carbon navigation with an iconic new build with no more than 100 staterooms, with zero greenhouse emissions of renewable energy, which will be supplied by sun and wind and combined with low carbon non-fossil energy associated with fuel cells. So that was our latest announcement in May. So look for that, or contact your director for more information, and keep your eye out for that new build, which we have announced launches in 2030. Next slide, please. So not to put you all to sleep any further, sustainability at Ponant is a big part, and we do recognize it's a big part of the cruise industry, and it's only becoming more and more important in years to come. So Ponant and other cruise lines are following the path to decarbonization. So it's important for you to kind of do your homework and know where each cruise line stands. As mentioned, we have the full sustainability report provided, and also reach out to the Ponant director for more specifics on how we are paying it forward, as you say. Ponant truly walks the walk and walks the talk as well. So next slide, please. And so we are calling on all 7 continents, 450 ports of call, over 400 sailings. The point of this slide here is to show you the distribution of our sailings and where we're calling. 25% are polar regions, whereas 75% would be the remainder of the world. So do offer a Ponant for those that are seeking the very best in small ship cruise experiences, not just in the polar regions, which you'll see a lot in our marketing, but also closer to home, such as the Great Lakes and Alaska, as is our theme today, but also Asia, Oceania, Indian Ocean, the Seychelles, Americas, Central America, Honduras, and Belize, and the list goes on. So consider Ponant for the one stop. We do have a very high repeat loyalty rate of 85% of clients come into us after 3 years. And basically, it's for the itinerary. Yes, the ships are gorgeous. The food is wonderful because we are French and we have Alain Ducasse overseeing that. But it's really all about the itineraries too. And you'll see when Preston presents the itineraries how beautiful they are in Alaska. So the next slide, please. And so not just are the ships beautiful and the food is wonderful and the service is world class, and we're sustainable and responsible towards the places we're visiting and educating our guests about the wonders of the world and visiting the treasures of the world on small ships. It's really, who are we keeping company with, and how are we educating our guests on board? And that's through our alliances and programs that Ponant is forging. And so I wanted to just give you an overview of some of those alliances and programs. So the next slide. So the first would be with Smithsonian Journeys. It's our 3rd year now with this iconic brand, where we have enriched and curated sailings for the American travelers. These departures, there are 24 sailings in 2024 that are done exclusively in English. So as I mentioned, we are a French flag cruise line. We do speak French and then English, but on our Smithsonian Journeys, these departures will be conducted exclusively in English. That will be focused on culture, history, and the natural world. Next slide. So with Smithsonian Journeys, 24 departures in 2024, but what's nice are these special inclusions where we will have with us 2 Smithsonian Journeys experts on each sailing. Lectures and discussions, of course, are included on board ship, done exclusively in English, specially crafted shore excursions or activities in every port of call, airport transfers on the day of embarkation and disembarkation. There will be optional pre- and post-hotel packages available and fully commissionable when booked through Ponant reservations. So yes, you can book these departures through Ponant Res at 888-400-1082 to earn your full commission, and also to get that CLIA bonus Amazon e-card, you're going to want to send that coupon in. And by the way, that has been extended for also bookings next year in 2024. Next slide. Next alliance or next partnership would be of extraordinary proportions, as the slide says, and an alliance that will be spanning between 2024 and 2026, 3 years, with the Explorers Club. And with the Explorers Club, we will be hosting members of the club in our speaker series, aboard 12 departures in 2024, and we hope to expand that even more in 2025 and 2026. Guests are rewarded firsthand insights and wild tales from the field, from scientists, visiting scientists, explorers, luminaries, those that have really made a name for themselves in the world of expeditions. So we will have onboard lectures, offshore activities, and also science grantees from the Explorer Clubs will be present on 5 out of the 12 expeditions to share their findings with our guests, your clients. So destinations do range from tropical to polar regions, and we do have Alaska in the portfolio with speakers from the Explorers Club. Next slide, please. And with that, I'm going to hand Alaska over to Preston, who has firsthand knowledge as well. So Preston, take it away. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dale. Terrific information. And yep, now I'm going to go into our new exciting sailings in Alaska, which are going to be experienced on a human scale from a small ship. So what are the reasons to visit Alaska? Well, if you've been there, you know what a stunning destination that it is. First, you get to follow in the footsteps of trappers and prospectors. That's a huge part of American history, of course. And with a small vessel like PONANT, you can get even closer to some of these incredible destinations and places where they visited a long time ago. You can trace the history of the peoples of Alaska, and PONANT has wonderful immersive experiences that will allow you to do that on a more immersive scale than what has previously been available. It's an area that has spectacular history, and you're going to learn all about that. Next, you can discover spectacular landscapes. Of course, we all know Alaska is a beautiful destination. There is no lack of beautiful mountain chains, fjords, glaciers, wonderful forests. All of that, of course, you can see in Alaska. But with the PONANT vessel, you can get a little bit closer. And with our expedition-style landings, you're going to get a chance to see a lot of that on foot that you didn't get a chance to do previously. So in Alaska, of course, if you sailed there previously through the Insight Passage, a lot of those are sail-bys. You are not really able to land in a lot of these places because a lot of the vessels that sail there aren't really equipped to do that. And there aren't many ports. A lot of these places are basically things that you can only see at a distance. But with PONANT small ships, you're going to get a lot closer than that. So if you've already been to Alaska, we're a good option because you're going to get to see a lot of things on foot that you did not get the opportunity to see previously. And number 4, of course, the wildlife. Incredible wildlife in Alaska and very, very abundant. Of course, we're talking about things like bald and golden eagles, mountain goats, bears, of course, are visible. There's several different species of seals that you can see on land and through the water. And it's an incredible destination for bird life. So many different species that you can't really count. And of course, things like caribou. So it's got a very unique wildlife setting. And you'll get to see that with a vessel like PONANT. And with us, you're going to have the expedition staff on board to give you even more information about that spectacular wildlife. And number 5, of course, you can admire the marine mammals. And you can see things like orcas, whales, seals from the water, dolphins, of course, all sorts of wildlife that get very close to the vessel. And of course, the expedition staff will be there to give you more information about that. So you're going to experience PONANT on a human scale from a small ship. So it'll be a different type of an experience. So here are 5 reasons to visit Alaska with PONANT. So we're going to be visiting with the Soleil, which is a perfect exploration platform because it sails with no more than 244 guests. It's one of our sister ships, so it's quite a bit smaller than most cruise lines that go to Alaska. So you're going to get a more intimate experience. You're going to have specially curated itineraries, which have been designed with careful collaboration with local communities. So we're really relying on the local communities to guide us. So again, kind of the same similar theme as nature as our guide. We're going to rely on the locals to show us where to go because they know that destination better than anyone. There's going to be a special focus on nature and culture. So if you're interested in the culture of Alaska or the beautiful nature, this is going to be a great way to see it on a small ship where you can get closer to those destinations. And of course, there's going to be an experienced expedition leader accompanied by 8 naturalists and local guides. So that expedition staff, they're all specialists in Alaska. They have a lot of experience in really taking people to unique destinations, and they're going to be providing their expertise. They're there to enhance your client's experience. And if you're going to be sailing with Smithsonian Journeys, we do have some Smithsonian Journey sailings in Alaska, as well as the Explorers Club. You're going to get those world-class speakers and world-class experts. So you're going to have even more options to learn more about the beautiful destination of Alaska. So with that, I'd like to show you a few Alaskan itineraries, and we're going to start with Alaska on a grand scale. So this is a sailing from Seward to Vancouver or vice versa. There are multiple sailings available, as you can see, from June until August of 2024, 13 days, 11 nights aboard Le Soleil, and a couple of those are with the Explorers Club. The speaker is going to be Dr. Jessica Glass, and two of the sailings are going to be with our photo ambassador, Cindy Miller-Hopkins, who is a specialist in wildlife photography. I've actually done some presentations with Cindy in the past. I can give you my personal guarantee that she's an amazing speaker. She's very charming. Her knowledge and expertise is out of this world, and she's very guest friendly. She loves to communicate with the guests, tell them more about photography, about the places they're traveling to. So she's a fantastic person to have on board. She's really going to enhance your client's experience. So some of the highlights of this Alaskan itinerary is, of course, you're going to dive into the region, discover the history of the trappers and gold hunters. You're going to visit traditional villages and meet the people of the far north. And these itineraries with PONANT are particularly immersive in that regard. So if that's something that you're interested in experiencing or your clients are interested in, these are great options for that, because there's going to be multiple visits per sailing. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity to learn about the history really before the fur trappers came. Of course, you're going to get the natural beauty as well. You're going to get very close to things like glaciers, particularly the Soft Ford and Prince William Sound. We're going to be getting our guests off the vessel on small boats, not Zodiac small boats, but those boats will allow you to go to unique places that a larger ship simply cannot take you. Of course, you're going to get the majestic landscapes, the cruising and the hiking, fjords, tall mountains, huge glaciers, and of course the wildlife is abundant. Humpback whales, orcas, different kinds of bears, sea otters, sea lions, bald eagles. And this is the best time of the year because it is the middle of the summer, of course, so that's when the weather is at its most temperate. So it's really a perfect time to see the wildlife in this part of the world. So next we have our emblematic Alaska sailing, and this is from Vancouver to Sitka or vice versa. So this is a shorter itinerary. So if your clients don't have quite as much time in Alaska, but they still want to experience one of our sailings on Le Soleil, this would be a great option. There's going to be 4 sailings. It's going to start earlier in the season in June and run until the beginning of September from Vancouver to Sitka and vice versa. And on all 3 programs, there's a single supplement. So that's our single supplement program. We waive the 200% single supplement upcharge. So if you have a solo traveler who really wants to experience PONANT or sail in Alaska, this is a wonderful way for them to do that and not have it be cost prohibitive. They don't have an upcharge. So some of the highlights of this itinerary is that of course you're going to have that experienced team of naturalists on board. You're going to be visiting those beautiful, majestic landscapes and the rich ecosystem as well. You are going to get those traditional village visits, particularly the Tlingit community and Cock, the landscapes, the fjords, tall mountains, huge glaciers, and of course you get the beautiful wildlife. So it's going to offer you a lot of what the previous itinerary offered you, just a little bit shorter. So it's a little bit more convenient if your client has a limited amount of time, or if they'd like to add some more pre or post options. This may be a good itinerary because you're on the ship a little less, so you'll have more time to do those. And this is one of our Alliance sailings with Smithsonian Journeys, cruising Alaska's Inside Passage, Vancouver to Sitka. This is 9 days, 8 nights aboard Le Soleil, and there are 2 sailings from Vancouver to Sitka and from Vancouver to Seward. So we're going to have some special guests joining us from Smithsonian. They're going to be big names in their respective field. Their specialty is something related to the sailing. They're there to really enhance your client's experience, to add more. They're going to be conducting daily lectures, escorting excursions, and hosting dinners, and really just made available for your clients. On July 5th, that'll be Scott Burns, a professor of geology, and John Grabowska, a natural history and filmmaker. And on the 20th, it'll be Nick Pison, a mammal fossil curator, and Jim Zilmerman, a geologist. So as you can see, a really wide variety of experiences, and really all very well suited for Alaska in particular. Of course, the shore landings are going to be included in the price of the fare with Smithsonian. These sailings are tailored towards the North American audience, so there's not going to be French spoken on board. We're bilingual in both English and French, but on the Smithsonian Journey sailings, only English will be spoken. You're going to get to hike in Sitka National Park. I was actually there last year. It's a stunning destination. I highly recommend it. Learn about the Alaska Native cultures and I always mispronounce this, pardon me, Metlakatla, Kak, and Sitka. So you get 3 visits on this itinerary, including the Little Rush of Sitka and the Little Norway of Petersburg. So you're going to get some interesting cultural differences as well. So if this looks like an itinerary that would interest you, I highly recommend them. They're very well put together, and these speakers are just out of this world fantastic. So we have a lot of special promotions to help you sell PONANT to your clients. We have a 30% PONANT bonus.
Preston, are you still with us? Dale, can you hear us?
My battery's running out.
All right, let's see here. Dale, are you still there? Well, it looks like Dale is still with us. Preston, are you able to maybe switch to Dale's screen until you get your battery situation figured out? Preston, can you still hear me? Dale? All right, it looks like we are having some technical difficulties here. I did just receive a message from Dale saying that there is a storm where he is at. So we will try and get him back online here. Preston, are you there?
Hi, yes, I'm here. I'm so sorry
Okay,
about that.
perfect. No, you're okay. We thought we lost you there.
So Dale, unfortunately, I'm not able to re-access my presentation. I don't know if you're able to do that.
All right. Well, if we can't get the presentation up, Preston, do you want to just roll into a question and answer portion here to wrap up?
Yes, I do, and I'm so sorry, everybody, for that. However, I was speaking about our promotions and offers, and I actually know them by memory, so I can still
Okay,
go ahead and talk about that. So we do have a lot of different promotions and offers to help you sell PONANT to your clients. And a few of those promotions and offers is the 30% PONANT bonus fare. So we have a 30% savings for new itineraries. That's 30% off the full price. And as the vessel begins to fill up, that percentage starts to go down incrementally. So if you're able to secure a deposit early, it's a great opportunity to save a lot of money with that 30% bonus fare. We also have a $300 per person first-time savings. So if your client has not previously sailed with PONANT, they will get a $300 per person savings. And there is also a group savings for 5 or more clients or 3 staterooms or more on a single booking. So if you have a booking with 3 or more staterooms or 5 or more clients, your clients will be getting a 5% discount with us. We also have savings for honeymoons and for anniversaries for every 5 years. So if your client is celebrating a romantic milestone, then this will be a great opportunity for them to be able to sail with us. As I had previously mentioned, we have a wonderful solo supplement program. So this is where on select sailings, we will waive the 200% upcharge on select sailings. So if you have a solo traveler, this is a great way for them to experience PONANT without it being cost prohibitive. Right now on our website, we have over 130 sailings that have this promotion. So, and not just the I guess, the more remote itineraries. It's a very well-rounded group of itineraries going all the way till 2024, including some of Antarctica and Alaskan itineraries as well. So if you have a solo traveler, that is a wonderful option for them to be able to travel with us. And that's not in a solo room. That's actually going to be in a standard PONANT stateroom. We don't have any solo rooms on board. So that's a great option for them to take advantage of. And I believe that's most of our current promotions. So Dale, do you have anything to add to that?
I do not. Hello?
Yes, hi Dale, we can hear you.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure everyone knew that the CLIA benefit continues all through next year. It's a really great way to earn additional commission. It's on every single booking, $100 for every double and $50 for every single.
Thank you, Dale.
Hello?
And I
Yeah,
think we
can you hear me?
go directly. We can, yes. So I'm just going to mention one more thing, and then I think we can go straight to the Q&A portion, Joanna. So the last thing is we do have a PONANT Academy course. It's called PONANTacademy.com. And it's a wonderful course that'll give you a lot more information about PONANT's brand and itineraries. It's not a particularly long course. It only takes about 45 minutes to an hour to complete, and you don't have to do it all at once. You can just save your progress and pick that up whenever you're ready to continue. I definitely recommend the course. It's very educational, and there is an amenity to go with that. So if you if you make a booking within the first 4 months of completing the course, you get a $100 Amazon e-card. So if you feel that there is a client that is potentially interested in sailing with PONANT, definitely take that course, both for the gift card and for the knowledge that that course will provide for you. And Dale, did you want to add anything about the course? And then I think we'll go into the Q&A.
I think the course is great. It's 40 minutes. It's a great foundation to build from, build your confidence in selling PONANT. And of course, reach out to your director of business development. We're only as good as you are, as I say, and as many people say. And yeah, so let's go to Q&A.
Dale and Preston, thank you so much for sharing all that information. To start with our Q&A portion, could you guys speak about the child policy on board with PONANT?
Well, sure. Our child policy, children who share a stateroom with 2 adults will travel free. The child age will be 6 years old, 3 years old, I'm sorry, on expeditions, 6 years old minimum on Alaska expeditions, and 8 years on the polar expeditions. So we do welcome children. Alaska is a great destination for multi-gen groups and for family travel as well. Preston, anything to add?
There are minimum ages on board, even though we, of course, do welcome families. That's 5 years for PONANT sailings. It's 8 years on the Commandant Charcot with our polar expeditions. But of course, we do welcome families. And during the summers in the Mediterranean, we do have kids clubs programs on board. So if you have a family traveling with us with a younger child who would like some entertainment on board and maybe a place where they can go for a couple of hours while their parents go on a shore excursion or just want to do something on their own, definitely look at a lot of our Mediterranean itineraries from June to August. They have the Kids Club program. We bring a counselor on board, and we do provide that entertainment for younger children. So that's definitely something to consider if you have a family with us.
Great, thank you. And just to expound on that just a little bit more, you did speak about expeditions, specifically the polar expeditions. Could you just speak about any physical requirements or recommendations for children or adults who are interested in going on that expeditions, what they should be prepared for, or are there any mobility requirements needed to go on those expeditions?
That's a great question. And what I would say is that if your clients can be on their feet for a while, they should be okay to do the expeditions. We do offer multiple options when the guests are off the vessel. They can stay by the shore and just admire the beauty from there. They can take something shorter that's very, very easy to do. Or if they're looking for more an adventure, they can do something a little bit more extraneous. But in general, they are not physically difficult. We are fully ADA compliant, as Dale mentioned earlier. So older clients or clients with disabilities should definitely not be discouraged from taking an expedition. They're wonderful experiences. We definitely do everything to accommodate them. They'll be very comfortable both on and off the ship. So really, my advice is if they can be on their feet for a couple of hours, they'll be just fine. And we do provide a polar parka that they can keep after the sailing, specifically designed to keep you warm and dry in polar environments. A boot rental center so that they don't have to worry about slipping. They can walk safely on sea ice. And of course, well before the sailing even starts, we'll provide a checklist on the best ways to prepare for an expedition sailing. So we take good care of our guests, and anybody should really be able to join us and enjoy the experience.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. You did speak about the ADA compliant requirements that you all uphold. Could you speak about how do guests let you all know about any mobility issues or accommodations that they need prior to getting onto the ship?
They just need to let us know, and let's have a conversation. Let's have a dialogue. We really don't want to discriminate against anyone. We want to afford that opportunity to all that can sail with us. So in the discussion, we'll just want to know what is the limitation on, what is the extent of the mobility issue. Are they able to lift their knee? Are they able to go up a step? Or, are they able to walk on uneven pavements and things like that? So let's have a discussion. Let's have, a dialogue between advisor and Ponant Res, and we could take it from there. But just let us know, and we'll see what we can do.
All righty, perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. Another question that I think would be beneficial to the group is, could you speak about the Smithsonian journeys and how agents can book that for clients with Ponant?
Sure. So
So
Smithsonian Journeys is an alliance. Sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Dale.
Go ahead.
No, that's okay, go ahead. Thanks.
Yeah, so it's an alliance that we formed with Smithsonian Journeys 3 years ago. And these are handcrafted or curated itineraries that Smithsonian Journeys has selected to offer up to their members. And as a result, we enjoy terrific guest speakers that come aboard. Everything's co-branded on board the ship for the Smithsonian Journeys experience, conducted exclusively in English because it is an iconic American brand. To book, you just go to call us at 888-400-1082 or on the website www.ponant.us, us.ponant.com, my apologies, and just keyword search Smithsonian Journeys, or just select cruises, themes, Smithsonian Journeys, and up comes all the departures. Select it, call Res, check availability, and get pricing. And everything's booked right through our team at Ponant Reservations, Team Ponant, as I call them. And so that's fully commissionable when booked through Ponant Reservations. Thank you for that question.
No, thank you, Dale. Thanks for that information. Another question that I think would help our agents here, could you speak about how they order any informational brochures or any resources that they can present to the clients when they are selling Ponant?
Absolutely, and Dale, I'll take this one if that's okay. So the best way to do it is through our travel advisor portal. So just reach out to your local sales director. They'll be more than happy to provide instructions as well as the unique agency code that you need to register on our travel advisor portal. And then from there, you will have the option of downloading e-brochures, or you can order paper copies of brochures. Another way to get our brochures is just ask ask the sales directors directly. We're more than happy to send them to you. Whether that's smaller quantities for yourself or larger quantities for your clients, or for some kind of an event that you're doing. So you can reach out to us, or you can order them directly through the Travel Advisor portal.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And just one last question here, Dale. Could you just speak about the, could you expound about the language barrier on board, if there is one? Is English spoken on board? And just kind of explain that to our attendees one more time.
There are no language barriers with Ponant. However, we are an international brand. We do have clients or guests from all over the world speaking multiple languages. Our team aboard ship are all proficient in English and will speak English for sure. Languages by announcements are done first in French and then in English. But by the way, we really don't like to make a lot of announcements, especially on expeditions. It's more of a club-like feel aboard board ship. Our communications, dependent on the client's preference, will be either in French or in English, meaning our paper communications, our agendas, our programs at the end of the day that are left in the staterooms would either be in French or in English, depending on the guest preference. Our lectures are separated out by language, so we will have lectures in French and then in English. Same thing for our shore landings on small tenders. Those will be separated in English or French. And on our traditional cruising, same thing for the shore excursions or outings as well. So we're not mingling. The only time we might combine the two would be the welcome assembly, general assembly, where the captain is welcoming all guests all together on the welcome party and then bidding farewell during the farewell dinner. So we'll come and raise our glass of champagne together, and we will have English and French spoken at that session. But generally speaking, we're there are no barriers. And newsflash, Americans are not the only ones that speak English. We have clients from all over the world. If they don't speak French, we'll speak English. And our staff, I don't know if we covered our wait staff or cabin attendants. A lot of them are from the Philippines, are from Mauritius. Our expedition team are multinationals. We have Americans, Canadians, Aussies, Brits, as well as from Spain, South America, from French-speaking Europe, France, Switzerland, and Italy, and even the Netherlands. So so we're multinational, we're international. We have won the Condé Nast Award, as Preston stated, from the readers who have sailed with us. And we have more and more Americans now on board our ships, thanks to our alliances and our partnerships, and through CLIA advisors booking American clients. So there's about 55% across the board now coming from the US, surpassing the French nationals at 35%. So we're not as French as we used to be. But we don't apologize, and we celebrate our French lineage, our foundings by the sailors coming out of the French merchant navy. So do keep us in mind.
Absolutely.
I think that's still a great experience there. Thank you so much. You speak about celebrating your French roots and everything like that. Could you speak about the culinary experiences that clients may experience or will experience on board Ponant?
Now, Preston, I know you love the food, so maybe you want to take that and I can elaborate.
I do love good food. Thank you, Dale. So our primary cuisine provider is the Ducasse Council, a Michelin star organization based out of France. And the culinary experience on board is definitely an upscale luxury level. So we offer a wide variety of fare. A lot of it, I think, would be more oriented towards French, Greek, Italian, Mediterranean style fare. However, we've expanded greatly, especially with this large influx of North Americans that we now have on board, as Dale mentioned earlier. So we really have a very diverse menu. We have 3 different options on board to dine. We have the main dining room, where there's no reservations required and no dress code. We do have an outdoor patio grill, which is a little bit more of a grill style fare. So if you're just wanting to dine a little bit more casually or out under the stars, you can definitely take advantage of that. And then, of course, you have room service, which is included in your fare, and that's 24 hours a day for everybody on board. So if you'd like to have a private dining experience, that is certainly an option. And since we're 90% balcony on the sister ships and 100% balcony on the Explorer vessels, you'll almost certainly have the balcony to take advantage of that. But overall, the cuisine is very good. And on the Commandant Charcot, in particular, we have the only Alain Ducasse Council restaurant at sea, and that experience is true luxury, incredible dining, and an upper deck dining area, and of course the main dining area as well. So overall, I'd say the cuisine is great, and they can expect wonderful service, small plates, or during lunch a very diverse buffet menu, and really a good culinary experience in general.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And just to stay on the culinary experience and the food on board, could you just speak about any dietary accommodations that you all provide to the guests on board?
Well, as Dale mentioned, just let us know and speak to reservations whenever you make the booking, and let them know what your client's dietary restrictions are, and we'll do our very best to accommodate them on board. I'm not sure exactly what the vessels are equipped to do, but I know that they have definitely advanced a lot in this regard. So as long as we know ahead of time what your client's dietary restrictions are, we'll almost certainly be able to accommodate it. And if we're not able to do so, of course,
Perfect. Thank you so much. We have about 4 minutes here Dale and Preston, do you have anything else you'd like to share? I know that the presentation is down. Could you just slowly provide us the number or the email that attendees and agents can use to get in touch with PONANT or their BDM so that they can continue to receive the resources and information that you all provided here today?
Sure. The reservations number for PONANT USA is 888-400-1082. The website is us.ponant.com. And our directors each have their own direct phone number, so reservations should be able to assist further, or you could contact US Sales at ponant.com. Not sure if you're able to show the slide again with the directors, but we are your resource. Do reach out to us. We are very active with CLIA. We are very happy to be partnering with CLIA and to continuing the CLIA bonus commission program. Try and sign up to get your own Embark personal ID number and use that. If not, we'll take your agency CLIA number on that coupon, so not to worry. But we do encourage you to sign up with CLIA. It's a wonderful organization, and we're glad to be partnering with you. And we thank you for your business and your support for 35 years now sailing, and we hope to continue on and on building great, terrific small ships and delivering on these authentic, immersive experiences that these clients, your clients, our guests, so seek out. And thanks again, Preston. I leave it to you to close out.
Thank you, Dale. I really don't have a whole lot to add to
Yeah.
that. Thank you all very much for your partnership. And it's 1-888-400-1082, us.ponant.com. And of course, your local sales director can assist you with more questions. If you're not sure who your local sales director is, just reach our reservations department and they'll direct you to the right person. Or you can email ussales@ponant.com and we'll be able to get that message and direct you to the right sales director. Thank you all very much for your time.
Thank you again, Dale and Preston, for all of that information. I do understand the technical difficulties are unexpected, but I think the information that you all provided was very, very helpful, and I'm sure that the attendees very much so enjoyed the presentation. So thank you again, and I hope to see you all next time.
Goodbye, everyone.
Have a great day.